Hey guys, I'm finally gonna get around to stripping the paint off the Squier Mustang HH. I'm gonna do a time lapse here as I do it, using some basic tools, heat gun, paint knife, scrape it off, strip everything off with a screwdriver, and we'll see what the wood looks like underneath this thing, huh? All right, let's check it out. So something interesting here is that you can see there's little indents along where that control guard was. I think they cranked this thing down before the paint was finished setting all the way. I mean, I'm not really surprised for a budget model guitar that they're trying to rush it out of the factory. You can see it on the bridge there too. But it's not the best thing in the world to have the paint soft enough that the hardware indents into it like that. Maybe someone who has an expert opinion on this sort of thing can chime in the comments. I've got all the hardware off now, as far as I can tell. Might as well just really go for it and start attacking this thing with the heat gun and see if that paint chips up pretty easily. You'll probably start around in this area just to see what happens, and if it chips up nicely, I'll move over into the main area and work my way out. So the paint's looking like it's really thin on there, which is kind of nice. There's not a thick candy shell on, this guitar, which has been something you'll find on cheap guitars in the past. But it's peeling off really nice and easy, but it's leaving this metallic coat that I'm having to scrape at a little bit more. And I can tell that there's some sort of thicker, like clear base coat underneath this thing. So to get at the wood grain, I'm gonna have to do some sanding. It's not just all chipping off easy for me. So interestingly, I got a little hot in one spot of the heat gun, and a thicker, like protective finish started just bubbling and cracking up. So that's what I'm dealing with now. So I got to get it hot enough so that that part just kind of cracks up, but not so hot that I leave like these burn marks here on this very light wood that's under here. It's popping off and leaving a very clean finish. There's nothing on here really. So I did all of this, and now I got to go back and do it again. But I'm glad that I broke through to that layer. All right, as you can see, I've got the paint completely off the top. Just dumped a bunch more paint chips out of there. Still on the back and the sides. That took me about 40 minutes to get the paint off the top. It would have gone quicker if I'd realized that it wasn't just a thin top coat on there. There is some thick paint, like base coat underneath, that does crack up once you get it hot enough. And once you get it hot, it pops off of this thing like popcorn. So the back will go a lot quicker. I bet I can do the back and the sides in 30 minutes flat. There's quite a few areas where I did get a little toasty on there, but I think a nice light sanding is gonna knock that down really nicely. I'm gonna do a nice little sanding right now and then throw some mineral oil on there, or mineral spirits I mean, and see if we can get that grain to pop and see what kind of grain there actually is under this, because that's kind of the point. I'm doing this, I mentioned this months ago when I got this thing, that I wanted to show if this could take a stain and do kind of like a walnut Mustang sort of look, because that's a popular thing that people did in the past with Mustangs, especially in the 70s. They would take these things down and give them that nice walnut stain for a more natural look. All right, I'm gonna start attacking it with a random orbital sander I have here. I need to find a fresh pad for it. All right, I've got it pretty well sanded down. I got some of the dark spots on the main part of the body sanded out where I got a little toasty on it. You can still see there's quite a few up here and really dark spots around here. The final product for this, I'm not going to do a wood grain for myself. I'm going to paint over it, so I don't really care about getting this perfect. I just want to show off this grain for people who are curious about it. Got some mineral spirits here. Pop these open. I've never actually done this before with mineral spirits before. I've always heard that you can use this or lighter fluid or naphtha, because lighter fluid is naphtha, to reveal the grain, and then it'll evaporate out fairly quickly, so you can do other things with it. This is just a way to check the grain. Really light wood here, but honestly kind of pretty in a light wood grain sort of way. Not bad. Not sure how well the camera is showing this off. This camera sometimes sucks. It's iPhone, forward-facing camera. There's a bit of a grain there. It's got kind of like a Home Depot. It's got kind of a Home Depot 2x4 sort of thing going on, like a light pine sort of look. Let's get it a little thicker on there, just so you can fake a little bit of a gloss. I think if someone stripped one of these down and refinished it with a little bit of a stain and a clear coat, I think it could look very attractive. It would look attractive in a cheap, funky guitar sort of way, but I think it would look interesting. And those burn spots really pop when you get the mineral spirits on them. Well, that's that. Stay tuned. I'm going to post videos if people are interested anyways in my refinishing process on this. I think I'm going to get arty and like paint some designs on it. I haven't ever done that. And I figure this $150 Squier that plays really nice and I think looks really cool will be a good, good canvas. Bye guys. Like, subscribe, dislike, leave me nasty comments, and support us on Patreon. Later.